Hello and welcome to a special video. Today I've been invited down to see an exclusive viewing of Time Diver. This is Japan's biggest dinosaur show. I think it might be their only dinosaur show. T-Rex, Stegosaur, Allosaurus, Triceratops, Brachiosaurus, anything you could think of is here. This is the first time that I've ever been to a dinosaur show, so I'm really interested and looking forward to it. And I think if you are, you're in Japan and you're thinking you're a dinosaur enthusiast like me, you can't afford to miss this. So why not we waste any more time and just get to it, shall we? I couldn't film any of the entrance as it was still being set up at the time, but I was sent this footage by someone who attended the event when it was open. We did, however, get to film some of the merchandise, including this amazing T-Rex, which is based off the T-Rex in the actual show, and only 500 of these were made. I was also told that the whole seating area rotates, allowing for one stage to be on show while the other one's prepared in the back. And I couldn't have prepared myself for what I was about to go into next. After climbing some steps, I was greeted with this scene. And I have to admit, this is a lot bigger than I was expecting. And because we were invited to the rehearsal, before the show actually opened to the public, we had this whole area to ourselves. And what happened to be on the stage? Nothing but an Allosaur, just, practicing its moves. Wow. Oh, I didn't realize this is crazy. And with the screen closed and the lights dimmed, we set up to capture the biggest dinosaur show in Japan. Hey, look, it's me! Apparently, dinosaurs are gonna walk down the middle, and they might nibble on you. But I can't wait to see it. And I think the screen splits open, and wow, this is way more than I expected it to be, 100%. Even though I don't understand Japanese too well, I was able to understand the show well enough to know what was going on. We opened up with a little presentation of Earth's history and dinosaurs before kidnapping this unsuspecting woman and sending her back in time. I guess you could say she was the real Time Diver. And with that, we were teleported back in time to the Jurassic period, which she seems absolutely thrilled about, apparently. Subarashi indeed. And then we see our first dinosaur, a mother and a baby Stegosaurus, as well as a herbivorous dinosaur who is just kind of loitering in the background. However, it does have a cute interaction with the baby Stegosaur. What are you doing? All jokes aside, these costumes looked really good, even close up. The eyes open and closed, and even the Thagomizer on the end of the Stegosaur's tail swung back and forth. Best of all, it even pooped. And then, all of a sudden, an Allosaurus appeared. Luckily, I wasn't on the Allosaurus menu today. And in true dinosaur documentary fashion, we had a tense scene where the Allosaurus stalked the baby Stegosaurus. Oh, and then in true Japanese fashion, we had this moment. Felt like it was right out of Dragon Ball. And with that slight distraction buying some time, the mother arrived.
Mommy's very angry.
But before the fight could really get underway, it was interrupted by the giant of the Jurassic. There really isn't any way that you can convey how big this thing actually was without being there. It's like I'm watching TV, except for it's coming right at me. When I first saw it, I thought it was quite small, but as it got closer and closer to the front, I realized just how gigantic this thing was. That's a better interaction than Sarah Harding had. And I thought that some of these dinosaurs would be puppets on movable bases, with nobody sort of manning them. But no, these were all manned with people inside them, so I have no idea how they did this Brachiosaurus. But that was the end of the Jurassic period. Then, after a short jump through time, we ended up in the ocean. And to simulate that you were underwater, they had these really cool jellyfish that almost moved in slow motion. After narrowly avoiding being eaten by some mosasaurs, we joined up with a pair of Utah raptors. This is when it started to feel like a real dinosaur documentary. They performed a courtship dance, communicated with each other, and protected their nest from an invading Utah raptor. But alas, it was all for naught, as from nowhere a huge sandstorm came, and killed them. So that was cheery. And then we had a 20-minute break. Well, that was action-packed, filled with emotion as well. And after seeing all those dinosaurs in front of me, I thought I'd give the cameraman my best dinosaur impression. Flawless, as you can tell. I was told that they wanted to put more emphasis on the skies with this show, so I was looking forward to seeing what they would do with it. There was a little scene where a baby Geosternbergia dropped a fish. And when the Crethosaurus went over to investigate, it was chased off by the male. I have to say that this Geosternbergia looked really good. I've seen a lot of dinosaur puppets and costumes in my time, but not one as detailed as this is. And the way it walked was super convincing. I think they really pulled it off well here. I also got my first ever close encounter with a dinosaur. I felt like a regular old David Attenborough. They also had one suspended mid-air to simulate it flying, which I thought was a nice touch. Dakotaraptor was up next. After following it into the woods, the screen opened up to an absolutely massive T-Rex. That's not gonna get up, is it? And then another Dakotaraptor appeared. This one had a very stylish hairdo. From what I could gather, this T-Rex was dying, and these guys were waiting around like vultures ready to pick the carcass clean. And that's when the real T-Rex appeared, who then scared off the raptors. Okay, now guys, brace yourselves. It's about to get emotional. So I didn't know if this T-Rex was also wanting to eat the bigger T-Rex, but then I realized that, wait, that must be its mother. Now, I don't really know how long T-Rex raised their young for, and at the end of the day, it's a show. And it's obvious they wanted to hit this emotional beat. But that aside, I think this scene really worked for me. There wasn't any overly dramatic, sad music playing in the background. It just sort of played out in silence. Which isn't something we normally get with dinosaur media, I feel. You don't allow a scene to breathe, and this one actually let it slowly unfold in front of you. It wasn't rushed, it wasn't boring, it felt real. And at this very emotional moment, I did the only logical thing and took a selfie. After the T-Rex passed away, the Dakotaraptors reappeared, smelling death, I assume. One quick tussle with the T-Rex later, and they finally got their din-dins. They did this really cool effect to show the T-Rex decomposition here. And after that roller coaster of emotion, we had a little play with the baby Triceratops in the water. Oh, isn't that nice? Psych! Now the baby's in danger! See, you can never really predict where the show's going to go. Not wanting to be left out, the T-Rex breaks up the squabbling Dakotaraptors and asserts its dominance. And of course, we get a very Jurassic Park-esque roar from it. Only thing missing is that banner that falls down in front of it saying dinosaurs ruled the earth. And then this happened. Right at this moment, I was transported back to the time when I was a kid making edgy dinosaur music videos on YouTube.
T-Rex is badass. Enjoy his badass.
So I was warned that the T-Rex might nibble at you, which I was preparing myself for. However, the cameraman wasn't. It didn't show any interest in me. I was ignored by T-Rex Senpai. And if you thought the show didn't have anything else, how does an adult Triceratops sound? Oh, but wait! I forgot! We still have the T-Rex to showcase. And what better way to end it with a final battle between the Triceratops and a T-Rex? There were parts of the fight that were done in slow motion. The music slowed down, the lights changed, and even the baby Triceratops had its chance to shine. And then the stage broke out in what felt like a battle royale. And unfortunately, I can't spoil the ending to the show, but they did have a casting call at the end with all the dinosaurs in the cast, which was quite cute. And in the end, T-Rex Senpai actually did notice me.
Oh, and we got to see the T-Rex come back to life, so that the children don't have to take any emotional baggage home with them, which is nice.
Well, that was it. The whole show, and what a roller coaster that was. We had emotional moments with the T-Rex, but then all of a sudden it broke out into what seemed to be a dino disco, where T-Rex got to show basically what everyone had came here for, T-Rex.
But wait, there's more! I was allowed to interview one of the CEOs behind the project, Kanemaru-san, who I like to call Japan's John Hammond.
So we've just watched the show, it was amazing, and is it okay if I just asked you a few questions about it?
ありがとうございます。
How did the idea for the show come about?
僕らはですね、博物館の仕事をしていて、もともとその博物館に造形物とか壁画とかそういうのを収める会社だったんですね。でその博物館の企画展でたくさん人を呼ぼうと、した時に、この、博物館に展示してある恐竜リアルな恐竜が歩き出したらいっぱい人が来るだろうっていうので、その20年ぐらい前かな15年ぐらい前にそう思ってそれから作り始めたっていうのがきっかけですね。博物館に人を呼びたかったです。映画の影響もあります。ジュラシック・パークとかあれを見たのもやっぱりきっかけですよね。それ博物館の仕事しててちょうどその頃ジュラシック・パークもやってたんで、これもう博物館で、リアルに恐竜たちが歩き出したらどんなにたくさんの人が博物館に来るだろうというのがきっかけなんです。
僕も大好きです。Jurassic Park. Second question, how many people does it take to bring a production something like this to life?
今何人入ってるの？60人ぐらい。
With all the dinosaurs that are in the show, I've seen there's like flying ones and even jellyfish. I was wondering what was the most complex dinosaur to bring to the show?
ブラキオサウルス。あれは3年かかりました最初から。
3 years. Wow.
首がボキン。
Oh. So would you say that was the most complicated one? Wow. Okay.
やっぱり首がものすごく難しい、ディフィカルトですね。首の動かしたりすると。
Apart from the brachiosaur neck going haywire, so it taken 3 years, what other obstacles did you encounter while making this production?
そうですね。やっぱ恐竜の動きを滑らかに動くように中の機構を作るのはすごくやっぱ難しいですよね。
One thing I wanted to know is this runs for a month about this show, and I was wondering what happens to the dinosaurs when they're not performing on stage. Do they just get taken to storage, or do they go on tour? Like what happens there?
うちのそのスタジオに戻ります。うちにスタジオにその30頭いるんですよ。30頭、31頭かな。でそのうちの17頭がここに来てるだけなので、またスタジオに戻って。
So その他の恐竜はどこにありますか？
立川のスタジオ、僕たちのスタジオにあります。
Kanemaru-san, appreciate my attempt at Japanese.
OK。うちの操演スタッフ、いわゆる動かす人たちと一緒に出張で僕たちが出かけていきます。ショーだけじゃなくて出張してそこで簡単なミニショーみたいなのをやったりはします。
So they're like hired out for events and stuff. Oh, okay.
そうですね。そういうのは多いですね。あとはこれはすごく大きなショーですけど、6頭とか7頭ぐらいのショーで1時間ぐらいのもやっていて、今日本中回ってるんですよ。今ツアーをやってるんですけどね。日本のツアーをやってるのは6頭で1時間のショーであちこち回ってます。
Well, you know Jurassic Park. What do you think of the character John Hammond in that movie? Would he bring dinosaurs back to life?
難しいね。恐竜はすっごい見てみたいので、どんな形でもそういう実際に蘇ってくるのはすごくいいなと思うんですけど、やっぱり生き物なので、やっぱりそこはその生き物としてやっぱり幸せに蘇ってってもらいたいなと思うんですよね。 まあ、そこは微妙なところあります。
Oh, good. Have you ever tried to, or if you could, or take control of one of these dinosaurs? Have you ever done that?
僕ありますあります。I can
Oh, really? Oh, which one?
アロサウルス。
Really?
ウタラプトとか。
So he's been inside it?
Yes, 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 inside. あれ全然そんなに難しくないですあれ動かすの。
Were you in the show just now?
入ってないです。
As our knowledge of dinosaur grows and we make new scientific discoveries, how important is that to bring them to your show here?
そうですそうです。まあできるだけ最新のものにはしたいと思ってます。
I was having so much fun talking to another dinosaur enthusiast that I forgot to ask him what goes into choosing the dinosaurs that appear into the show. So I had to be reminded to ask him the question.
That appear in the show?
Ah, yeah. Well, thank you. I forgot about that. Yes.
まあやっぱり人気のある恐竜は見たいですよね。それ人気がある恐竜とやっぱりあと群れのシーンも見たいと思うので群れになるができる恐竜とかあとは親子のがやっぱり見てみたいと思ったんで親子だったら草食恐竜の親子とかなんかそんなふうにしてまあ選んでるっていうかまあでもうちの会社のチームがまあ一人で決めてないんでチームで決めるんでみんながやっぱり見てみたい恐竜になってますね。はい。
So if you could choose a dinosaur to be in the show, which dinosaur would it be?
そうですね。僕はアロサウルスですかね。
Oh, right, okay, it's already in. What are the plans for the future of the show? Where do you see it going from here?
そうですね。50頭とか60頭とかそういうような恐竜がもう本当に体験できるようなショーはいつかやりたいなっていうのがまずありますね。でもう今は17頭ですけども、もっとトリケラトプスが群れで出てきたりとか、そういうところに自分たちが入っていくみたいなショーをやってみたいなと思います。で、まあ、今は国内で作ってるんですけど、これから海外にどんどん出ていきたいなっていうのがすごくあります。やっぱり群れに会いたいんですよ。
He wants a Jurassic Park. So here's John Hamilton. Do you see this going abroad? Would you take dinosaurs on vacation, for example?
もうぜひ今もう海外に向かって今海外の人たちとももうやり取りしてパッケージで海外へ多分回ると思います。来年再来年とか本当はコロナがなかったらもう行ってたんですけど全部なくなっちゃったんででもまた話がいっぱい来てるので海外を回ります。
Well, hopefully that happens. I hope it does. Well, thank you for your time, and I hope the next show is just as good as this one. Thank you. どうもありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
So, because this was my first proper project recording here in Japan, I didn't record an outro, so we're gonna do one now. So first off, I just want to say a massive thank you to Kanemaru-san. His passion for dinosaurs was infectious, and he was an absolute joy to interview. And I want to say thank you as well to the rest of the Dino Alive team for allowing us to basically have the entire stage to ourselves and allowed us to get some amazing shots, which I'm sure you've seen in the video, of course. This was my first ever Dinosaur live show, and it was one hell of a one to start with. It was entertaining, it had a bit with emotion, it had, of course, dinosaur fights, which is what we like to do with the channel, of course. And I had such a good time. There's a lot of things I couldn't record because they weren't set up at the time when we went to record it. But outside of the vicinity, they've got like stalls set up where you can dig for dinosaurs, a lot of things for kids, as well as like a huge amount of merchandise. I've seen the videos and stuff afterwards, and there's a lot. If there's something dinosaur related, you're probably gonna find it there. And they even gave me this, which is very generous of them, which is the Dino Live 2022 crew, which you cannot buy, and you can only get it if you worked on the show, unless you're special like me. So I really appreciate it. Thank you guys, that was really nice of you. And hopefully in the future I can bring you more content like this, because I had a blast recording this. And until next time, I'll see you cuties later. Oh, bye-bye.
Hello, everyone.
Sorry, I was talking. Sorry.
No, it's fine. You tell me when.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. 3.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, okay, wait. I thought you wanted me to say it. Sorry. Okay, maybe.
2, 3, 2.
Okay.